lungs expand and contract, right? And so they inflate and deflate thanks to this big muscle that has a dome shape, if you will, or an open parachute when it's actually extended or expanded. That's when the air gets pushed out of the lungs. The fact that the diaphragm sits underneath the lungs means that it mainly helps the bottom of the lungs to exercise that downwards expansion motion. And as you've seen the depiction of lungs, they are wider in the bottom. So that means that they contain more volume and alveoli. Alveoli is the air sacs with capillaries that would suck in the oxygen out of the air and bring it into the system, right? So let's put it this way. If you're able to expand your lungs on the bottom third, if you were to divide the lungs into 3 stages, you'll be using more oxygen and using it better, so you'll be able to deliver more oxygen to your tissues. Also, as you engage your diaphragm, you are activating your, well, the mammalian diaphragm reflex has a connection with the parasympathetic branch of the autonomic nervous system. As you may have heard, we have the fight or flight and the rest and digest and recover. Fight, flight, or freeze, or rest, digest, and recover. These are 2 branches of the same autonomic nervous system. Autonomic nervous system being the one that just controls a lot of functions in the body without us having anything to do with it in terms of thinking or commanding the body to do it. It just happens on its own. Anywhere from heart rate to sweat and digestion and blood flow. So what happens when we activate the parasympathetic nervous or branch of the nervous system, thanks to the vagus nerve, which is one cranial nerve that connects the brain to the diaphragm and other organs and muscles. But in this case, we're talking about the diaphragm. When you engage it, when you squeeze it and expand it, it's almost like you're pulling off of that string called the vagus nerve, and it rings a bell in the brain, telling the brain to release, asking the brain to release the feel-good hormones, neurotransmitters and hormones, many of them, that will help you to downregulate. So that'll help you to enter your parasympathetic. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Bien. ¿Y María? Okay, buenísimo. And so we got one more attendee coming down. That's Maria. So at some point she'll be. So benefits of diaphragmatic breathing. We're talking diaphragmatic breathing now. First stage, if we work from the bottom up as we were naturally breathing as babies when we were born, the first few years of our life were spent breathing diaphragmatically mainly. So it's belly breathing, if you will, or abdominal breathing. Benefits, again, we get better oxygen usage, we downregulate, and it also serves a purpose for pelvic floor health and muscle tone also, since we have, by the way, inspiratory and expiratory muscles. So inspiratory muscles, the ones that will help us to bring the air in so that